What's up? Welcome. I am so glad you are here listening and spending time with me today. Release Your Inner Power talks about life, the trenches, the decisions, and the wins that we have now, today, and that have experienced in our past. There are stories, encouragement, tools, and tips to take those next steps to release that inner power and connect with something that is said or someone, a special guest maybe, that will boost your week. I am your host, Shauna B. Here we go. It's going to keep coming. Your lessons, you're here to learn them. They don't go away. There is no covering up the pink elephant in the room. There's no brushing it under the rug and it's going to go away. It doesn't go away. Okay? I'm here to tell you so you can make your hell yes, or you can make your hard no true for you. So you can freaking break these chains off. You don't have to carry around this weight anymore. And you don't have to keep getting slapped with lessons because they're going to come up. They're going to come up. Notice what you're noticing, my friend. Notice what you're noticing. They are there. They're going to keep coming up. How much weight do you have? How much weight are you carrying on? Right? Decide. Do you want to hell yes, hard no, cut the weight, break it off, be lighter, freer, more expansive, more like hell yeah, this is my life? Which one do you want to do? Decide which one you want for you. What is true for you? What your soul self is going to do is keep calling. It's going to keep calling for what you want. The lessons will come. Your soul self will call for what it wants, right? Are you hearing it? Are you hearing it? Can you hear it? It's there. I'm telling you, it's there. Your hell yes is there. Your inner badass is in there. It is in there and it wants to come out. Just listen. Do something to self-care, connect, and listen and hear it for you to make the decision. Practice it. Okay? They're freaking magical. Make the firm decision and the path starts to show itself. I'm going to give you another example. So think of it as like this. How I always like to think of it is like when you're camping, maybe you're not a camper, outside in the darkness, your lights go out in your house, whichever, it's dark. You have a flashlight. Okay. You have made the decision. I want to see where I'm going to step next. Your flashlight is shown in front of you. You can see the next step. Okay. This is why decisions are magical. You can see the next step. You take the next step and what happens? You can see the next step. Sometimes you can see 3 or 4 steps in front of you. Sometimes you can see that. Sometimes you can't. You can only see the next step in front of you until you take that step. Will the path be shown to you? Now, does that mean that the path is not there? Absolutely not. The path is there. You just can't see it yet. You can see it once you make the decision on what you want to do for that first step. Okay. Second step, third step. Now, sometimes this is super hard because, some people, and I totally am 100% guilty of this. In the past, I needed like my whole path to be illuminated and shown to me. And this is what you're supposed to do in steps 1 through 5. And you just do the steps and then, this is going to be it. Right. Okay. Yeah, that can be it. But is it true for you? Is that really what is true for you? Finding the next step with that flashlight, if you will, finding the next step and doing the thing on the absence of knowing how is where your path, or your true path, is going to be shown to you. It will be shown to you. Trust in yourself, make the decision and make the step, and it will be revealed to you as you go. Maybe 2 steps, maybe 4 steps, maybe only 1. It will come. It will come. For example, I'm going to become a little vulnerable with you guys here for a minute. Okay. So it was years ago. I was in a marriage where I felt that we had completely grown apart and it was not the same thing. I was changing who I was. I was not true to myself. It wasn't fair to me or him. And it definitely was not fair to my children to let them see that and teach them that that is how it's supposed to be, or that is what it is, because that's what they know, right? That hit me hard. There was many conversations and me really asking what I want. And I knew because I got my hell yes to get a divorce, not separate, to get a divorce. Okay. I knew that, but it was so freaking scary. Like, I'm going to be a single mom of 3 kids. I'm going to do this on my own. Can I make it on my own? Guess what? Here we go. Brain dragon swooping in, overthinking to get me stuck, right? To get me stuck. Now, I finally was just like, I went on this journey with some friends, and we went to the beach and we did a lot of, hanging out and eating dinner, breakfast, lunch, meals together. That's what I was thinking. Sorry, I couldn't find my words. Meals together, walking on the beach, really connecting with myself. Just taking a moment, just being there, just seeing the ocean, hearing the ocean, feeling the ocean. And when I left that weekend, I had made the decision that I was getting a divorce. Decided I'm getting a divorce. Did I know how that was going to happen? No. I mean, I got to ask him. I got to tell him he's got to get out. I got to figure out all this stuff with my kids. I got to, like, the list just started going. And I was like, nope, I'm not even going to think about that. This is happening. The divorce is happening. We're getting a divorce. And this happened it was in the month of February. And I remember it very clear because I felt very empowered and like, when you get like the little tinglies all over your body. When I made that decision, I knew it was the right decision because I had the tinglies, because it wasn't excitement for like, yes, it was like empowering because I was listening to myself. I made the decision for myself. And in reality, it's going to be better for everyone. I mean, it's not fair to us, my ex-husband and I, and then it's not fair to the kids in the environment, in the situation, and the modeling of relationship that was happening is not true to me or bleeds out to them, right? Now, there's some other situations that happened that shoved it into real quick, real fast a couple months later. And we finally got a divorce. I didn't know how I was going to make it. I didn't know how I was going to come up with the money. I didn't know, I had to come up with a whole new schedule, right? We had to do visitations and who's going to take this and who's going to watch the kids and whatever. And then there's going to be times where I'm completely by myself. I haven't been by myself in a house for 10 years. And then now I'm going to be completely by myself in the house or whatever. I was like, what is that all about? Adjusting and shifting to the decisions that you make. There's going to be some waves that you're going to have to ride out and figure it out. But ultimately, the decision was made, firm decision, in the absence of knowing how. And it is like 10,000 times better for all of us, all 5 of us. It is better for all of us. Right. But what's most important was for me to be true to myself and to not just trudge through the mud and live through it because of what society says or what other people say I should do or how it should be done. I knew it was done. I knew us being together was not for me anymore, which in turn will show it benefits everyone. It benefits everyone when you're true to yourself first, right? Got a little deep with you guys. Sorry about that, but we did it. Or I did it, I should say. So your decision making, or it is your power. That is your power, right? Your power is your ability to decide and make the decisions. And then it comes down to you making the decision and taking the step and doing it. Have faith in yourself. Be there with you to make that choice, to make that action step, to do the things, and know that that is true to you. That is true to you. Okay. When you make those true decisions for your soul, it will get easier. It will get easier to do it. You just have to practice it. You just have to be with the decision, trust it, and move on. Why? Go back to the why you're doing it. Remind yourself. It comes in. It can come in waves, I guess. Like you can make a decision and then you have to practice, because it's like a whole nother thing of not just trusting your decision. Like you also have to practice through with your brain dragons, right? And your overthinking, like that. You're going to have to get out of here with all that, make that go away, to practice with that too. But that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother thing. Trusting yourself, hearing yourself, trusting your decision, that and making it for you, and what you're here to learn, what you need in your life for you, for your soul to be full. So you can have all that for the people around you, right? If my cup is full and my soul is filled up, my soul self is filled up, I have all that to give to my kids, to my family, to my friends, right? Because I'm taking care of me first, which starts with my decisions, on what I need, want, love, and have to have in my life, right? What's best for me. Same with you. Decisions for you will fill your cup up so it can spill over to all the people that are around you, right? Just want to check over my notes here and make sure. Yes. So, going back to what I was saying about the tingly feeling. So your thoughts cause your feelings. So if you have decisions that you make and then you have thoughts that swoop in or whatever, that's going to cause your feelings. So if you make a decision that is true for you, you're going to feel that it's true for you. You will feel that it's true for you. It's a very different feeling when fear, doubt, and worry swoop in and it tries to take over what you have hell yes yourself to do, right? That is constrictive. Fear, doubt, and worry is not your soul self. That is your brain dragon. That is overthinking. That is fear coming in. Fear, doubt, worry. That is not your true self. Okay. Your true self does not drive on fear, doubt, and worry. So if that's coming up, okay, bye. Get out of here. Your soul self is a hell yes or a hard no, not fear, doubt, and worry. Okay. I just want to make that super, super clear. When you let fear, doubt, and worry run your life, you are living it by default. Okay. When you let your soul self speak up and your hell yes or a hard no, you are living by design. Now, I want to talk a little bit about decision fatigue because it can be a thing, especially if you are a mom and you got jobs and activities and kids and blah, blah, blah. You're like, your whole day is like decisions after decisions. Here we go, right? It's all over the place, all these decisions. Now, let's see. So it's kind of taking everything I said, right? How do you keep from getting decision fatigue? Well, what's true to you? What's true to you? Now, there is some things where, being a mom or a juggler of all the things, even if you're not a mom, if you're just a person that has like a job and activities and friends and all this stuff, there's going to be stuff that comes up, like going to work, where you're like, I don't feel like going to work today, blah, 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 like that kind of a thing. I'm talking about that, but I'm not talking about like, there's going to be times where you're not feeling it. You're not into it. Okay. That does not mean that it's not right for you. It's okay to have those days. You got to give yourself grace. It's okay to have days where you're like, I'm over it. I don't want to do this. I don't want to go to work. I'm not feeling it today. I don't want to do soccer practice and make dinner. So we're ordering pizza. Like we're not, I just don't feel like doing XYZ. Okay. That's okay. Cause you don't have to be on and making decisions like all the time. Like give yourself grace. That right there is self-care by saying hard no. Okay. Not doing all of the things for it. It's no, saying no and saying not doing the things can be self-care, can be for your soul self. It's not always a hell yes. I hope my words are making sense. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? It's not going to be like you're on all the time and you're checking all the boxes, and that's just not reality. That's not realistic. There's going to be days where you don't want to, that you're going to live by default. There's going to be days where you're going to be awesome, make strides, and live by design, right? It's just reminding, which ends up in decision fatigue. The truer you are to making decisions for yourself, the less likely you are to get decision fatigue. Okay. When it's true to you, it energizes you. It makes you, it's true for yourself. So it's easier. When it's not, and it's against what you're wanting to do, it gets to be more of a struggle. Bring those chains back onto the belt. Make those ball and chains are going to get heavier. They're going to get bigger. And then that's when decision fatigue can swoop in, and then your brain dragon. It's like so crazy how overwhelmingly self-sabotaging it can be, that it can be exhausting just thinking about it. So pause, stop. What is true to me? What decision can I make? Even if it's a little step, and then following through with what you're deciding. Okay. It doesn't have to be some huge, massive thing like me. Like when I was sharing with you about my divorce story, it doesn't have to be like that. It can be as easy as, do I want an apple or do I want this candy bar over here? Not what your brain dragon or your hunger elephant is thinking. What do you really want? Right? Like this morning, I'm like, do I really want to make this huge breakfast, or do I just want like an apple and peanut butter? And it kept pulling me, apple, peanut butter. And I was like, okay, and that's what I'm having. And I had it. And that was the best choice, right? For me in the morning. It can be that easy. It doesn't have to be like hard and grueling and scary and all of the things every time you make a decision. It can just be like, I'm just going to trust it and I'm going to go with it. And then you're going to be in your flow. You're going to be able to do it more, right? If you find that you are getting decision fatigue, give yourself grace, give yourself self-care, take a break, rest for a little bit. You don't have to be on all the time again. Okay. And less fatigue will happen. Don't argue with yourself. Don't let ego come in. Don't argue with your brain dragon. Don't do that. Get to know that so you can stop and be like, not today. Not today, my friend, not today. Okay. Also, I'm going to give you some other things to think about here as we wrap this up. So when you make a decision, it doesn't have to be an either or. There's going to be times where it can be a yes and. I feel like sometimes with decision, you can limit yourself into what you want in your life or what you're even trying to do because of other things, of beliefs or patterns in place that can keep you from a yes and. Okay. Like how can I give you an example of yes and? Or a hell yes or hard no. Like the trip, for example. Okay. I went on this epic adventure. And at first we were supposed to be doing the kayaking trip. And then it was a hell yes. And we're going to go hike the Narrows. All right. We're going to do that. Right. And then after that epic adventure, it was like a month later and I had another adventure. And so it was like a hell yes. And I'm going to go on this other adventure. I probably did. I'd have to look, but I don't even know how many epic adventures that I did that were freaking amazing, that we actually call Type 2 Fun. The group of us that does them. It's called Type 2 Fun. And they're always a hell yes for me. Every single time I've gone on those yes and, right? And another trip, not limiting myself to one, but having both. Sorry, my phone was ringing. That's like, I could just go into what everybody else thinks that I need to be doing or that I should be doing. Like, oh, well, you're a single mom of 3 and you have 3 kids and you shouldn't be going on any of these epic adventures. You shouldn't be doing any of this because you need to be taking care of your kids. Okay, well, thank you for that. But no, for me, I need to be outside. I need to be connected. I need to be in the mountains next to the beach, kayaking in the water, anything that has water, these beautiful places that haven't been touched by people that are out in the wilderness, that it totally speaks to my soul and I can't even tell you what the feeling or describe the feeling of what I get from that and how much better of a mom and better of a situation and how I'm learning so I can share this with my children when they're old enough to be going on these epic adventures, because I'm doing it now. I'm doing it for me to eventually be for them, right? So it can be a yes and, or I'm just throwing numbers out here, but like I made $10,000 and I have an opportunity to make 5,000 more. Yes. And not, oh, but I should be grateful for the $10,000. Yeah, you can be grateful for the $10,000 and the 5 that's coming or the 5 that you're going to make, because it's okay. You have to be able to receive it too, right? Yes. And it's a thing. You should try it. Yes. And not either or, just try it. Yes. And see, just play with that a little bit. See what you get with that. See what comes of that. Okay. Now, maybe some of you are like, where do I have to make a decision? Where do I need to like actually change some things? Well, look at what you're longing for or where your discontent is. Where's something you really want, or where's something that you've been looking at really needing to do, or what is something that is just not flying with you, that is not your jam, that you just are like, I have to do that again. Oh my gosh. Where's that? That is where you can look at making a decision and tuning into self and really understanding what is true for you in the situation to pivot it. It might not even be like a complete change. It might just be a little bit of a pivot or a shift where then in turn will level you up. Right? Be curious, be open, notice what you're noticing, figure out if that even needs to be a decision, if it's true for you, and try it. Try practicing it, right? Practice the little things first until you get the hang of it, till you get the hang of knowing and being in your flow, right? Of yourself, of knowing what that relationship is with yourself. Now, things you want the purse, you want the shoes, you want the trip, you want to hang out with a friend, or things you want to go do, right? The trip, the friend, or go out to dinner. Do I want to go out to dinner tonight? Do I want to, practice with the little things like that. It doesn't have to be massive monumental moves, pivot shifts here. It could just be little things that you can try to like really tune into self to then move to the massive monumental decisions, right? The things that are like, oh my God, I'm doing this. I'm really doing this. It's exciting, scary, right? Or really tuning into your gut feelings about certain things and going with your gut, trusting your gut, or what I call the downloads, boop, that I say that like pop in when you're asking yourself questions or when you're tuning in things and you get ideas and it just comes to you. That could be yourself talking. That could be you being like, nope, this is what it is. This is what you want, play with that. Notice what you're noticing, play with that. See if that's what that is. See if that's what your decision actually is, that it's telling you what you're supposed to be doing, right? Trust it, go with it. As soon as you start having a conversation about it in your head, as soon as you start arguing, making excuses, justifying it, all of those things, guess what that is, my friend? Overthinking and brain dragon swooping in, your ego swooping in, right? Fear, doubt, and worry, ego swooping in, brain dragon. Hell yes, filling your cup, expansive, exciting, know you want it, soul self. Okay? Get this ego out of here. Tune into this. It's going to take practice. And when you practice, the easier it gets. And the more shifting happens, then the more changing happens, then the more leveling up happens. You just got to keep going. You just got to keep going. Right? This makes you and your power of decision stronger every time you do it, with tuning into what's true to you, right? sometimes we get into situations where we're completely in a fog. This is why I started this whole Into Your Journey. I was completely in a fog. I had no idea I was even there when I was there until I started making decisions for myself, started tuning into myself, started to listen to my gut feelings and my, little flags that are raising, and like trusting it and moving with that. And it's like mind blowing, like how much has come out of that, how much shifting and changing and awareness I have to, like, holy moly, that was totally like that. And I was in there just, I was nuzzled all in it, and it was friggin' miserable. And because I was so in it, it was like, fog, right? You can kind of see, not really. And then you make decisions. And then you're just like, whoa, I am clear now. I see that. It was totally like the hell yes for me. And you're out of it. Your chain is now broken off, gone, free from that chain. You are set free. And now things are easier, right? So much easier with that situation, right? When you shift, change, and level up, there may be things that come back, again, lessons, right? There may be things that come back and that you need to do. But once you practice and you get this like a boss, you're going to be able to handle your day, week, month, year, big decisions, small decisions, all the things. When you get in tune with it, you are totally going to be able to bring out that inner badass, handle your situations like a boss, and you are not going to be in the fog anymore. And you are going to be able to do all the things with you, with your family, with your friends, with all the stuff. You'll be able to handle it, right? Right. Yes, you can. You can do it. You can do it. Man, decisions are the shift. It's the first step. It is what totally made me take my first steps out of the fog and realize what journey I was actually on, realize what my next steps were, and to rewrite my life. It's freaking amazing how much in the last 5 years of my life is completely different because I'm living by design on the decisions that I am making. It is insane. So I hope you got some juicy tidbits and tools out of this deal. I hope you had a good listening opportunity with me. And if you have any questions about anything or want to ask me anything, please, you can email me, text me. You can go to my Ignited Decisions on Facebook or Instagram, and you can message me there, whichever's easier. And I would be happy to chat with you about anything that we had talked about today. So part 1 is done. I'm super, super glad you guys watched this with me and were here hanging out with me to chat about it. And part 2 will be coming out in a couple of weeks, another stepping stone to getting out of your fog and into your journey. And I can't wait to share that with you guys. So remember, life is happening. What are you igniting today? Thank you for listening to today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the conversation, learned something new, or got some gems to take away that will boost your week. I release a new episode each week, so make sure to click that follow button to not miss what is coming next. If you love the show or want to share a story, send me a quick message. I love hearing from listeners. If you know someone who needs this episode in their life, go ahead and share it with them. I'm sure they would love you for it. If you are looking to connect more, check out the show notes for all the social links, my website. I would love to hear how this episode helped you and what you loved about it. If there's a topic you want to hear about, send that too. All right, ladies, now is the time to release your inner power.